Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. This is Michelle's Library. If you're new here, I make videos about books. Please hit the subscribe button. It really helps my channel grow. Today is a tag video. I have not been tagged. I'm almost never tagged. I just do them. So I am doing the end of the year book tag. It is not yet the end of the year, but this is like a tag in preparation for the end of the year to like make sure you're on track. I did not do the mid-year book freakout tag. I just was doing other stuff, I guess. So I definitely wanted to do this one. So first of all, if you're watching this and you would like to do it, you're tagged. Let's get that out of the way. Second of all, I think I did this video 2 years ago. I haven't done it in a really long time, so I don't remember these questions. So I'm looking at them and just answering. I'm not prepared as usual. So let's go. The first question is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? Yes, I am currently in the middle of Alphabet Project L. I usually try to put out an Alphabet Project video once a month and did not do it for September, probably will not do it for October, and that is because I have friends now and we do readathons and stuff, and like people want to buddy read with me and stuff. So there was one book that I was reading for the Alphabet Project and I have decided to, I feel like, hard DNF it, and it's just because like I haven't had time and I didn't really like it and all that stuff. But otherwise, I'm not one that like really hangs on to books. If I don't like the book, I will DNF it. I will either soft DNF it, I've done that a couple times, or like hard DNF it, sell it, it's gone. So yeah. So the answer is kinda, it's more like a project I'm in the middle of and not really books per se, but I'm gonna go with yes. The second question is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? Let me try that again. Do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? Not really. I feel like usually from February to like August is where I like to read my romance novels, and then September through January is like my thriller horror, and that's just how that goes. And I don't feel like that is weird. I feel like a lot of people who read these two genres tend to do this, and that's just how this works. Like summer feels very romancy and obviously fall feels very thriller. I am new to both of these genres, but also not really. Like I was exclusively, the last time I did this, I was exclusively like reading YA, but even when I was doing that, like I was still focusing on like YA contemporary romance during the same time period, and then like YA thrillers and like sci-fi stuff at the end of the year. So like, although I'm more into adult now, I'm still like reading the same things, just adult. So like my answer is I'm in my thriller horror thing for like spooky season, and I'll probably be in that until February. The next question is there a new release you're still waiting for? I can't even tell you how bad I am since I left the library about keeping track of new releases. I hear about my new releases from Katrina Brown, and Lexi from Books with Lexi, and like otherwise I know nothing. And I used to be the one in like my friend group in real life who was like on top of it, and now I got nothing. So I have no idea what's coming out the rest of the year. If you would like to know, I know a lot of people are doing like anticipated releases for like the end of the year. I'm not one of those people because I don't know. I'm just coasting. There is a couple books that come out at the beginning of 2023 that I'm excited for and I have arcs for, but like nothing that I am aware of for the end of this year. I got nothing. I don't know. I'm so bad about that now. The next question is, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? Lord. That's 4. I have 4 books. No, am I right? Yes. I have 4 books that I would like to read for the Alphabet Project L. Can I get one out in November and December? So that's 4. I can't tell you what they are because like the Alphabet Project is the only thing that I like to keep a secret, something just for me, and then I put the video out and you see what books I read. So I'd like to read those. currently, the day that I am filming this, it is October 6th? Question mark. I am in the middle of 3 readathons. Today is the first day of the second weekend of Halloween. So I have 2 books to read this weekend for the main prompt and the bonus prompt. We got that. I'm in the middle of Blackaweenathon. I'm currently reading a book for that, and I have like 5 more books on my TBR, and then I'm also doing Arctober. I've read 1 book for that, and I think I wanted to read like 4 or 5 books. To say I am stressed would be an understatement, but also I'm not stressed because reading is supposed to be fun. So like if I get these readathons done, awesome. If I don't, for whatever reason, it's just reading. So like I'm never going to be at the point where reading is not going to be fun for me anymore, because that's how I was last year, and I don't want that to happen again. So although I love doing readathons and I have so many books on my TBR for this month, if it's no longer fun, I'm not going to push myself to do things, you know what I mean? So the answer is yes, I have so many books to read, and oh my god. Number 5 is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? I don't know. So this has happened to me for at least the last 4 years. I usually read my favorite book of the year in the first 3 months of the year. And that has happened to me, I think, for the past 4 years. Like between January and March, I read my favorite book of the year and nothing can measure up. And that has also happened to me this year. So would I like to be surprised about something? Yes. The other thing is that I'm a different reader than I was last year, and I am so chill, and it's just like if I enjoyed my time reading this, it's 4 or 5 stars, and it doesn't have to be a perfect book because there's no such thing as a perfect book, even though I thought that that needed to be a thing. No. So the answer is yes. I am much more a mood reader than a TBR reader, so like I really don't know what I'm going to read next. I do have 3 TBRs for this month, but that's usually not the case. So I would love for me to pick up a book and it be my favorite of the year and literally push The Push, which is my favorite book of the year, out of the way. But so far, I don't think that's going to happen. Just like The Push is something I think about all the time. I like can picture exactly where I was when I was listening to that, and books have come close to being my favorite. One I read last month, which is My Best Friend's Exorcism, is like neck and neck with it, but like I hope I can read something as good as The Push this year, but I don't think I will, just because The Push really blew my mind and surprised me, and I loved it. But I'm always hopeful, and I love giving books 5 stars, so we'll see. And then finally, the last question is, have you already started making reading plans for next year? Yes and no. So for the past 2 years, I have kept my Goodreads goal at 150 books, and for the past 2 years, I have surpassed it. Now, the reason I didn't up it this year is because I was afraid that I would get into a reading slump and then I would feel pressured. I don't really feel pressured with the Goodreads reading goal. Most of the time I don't even check it. But I guess it was just like, oh, if I don't hit this, it means nothing. So my reading goal, I think for 2023 will just be pushed up to 200. Right now I'm in like the 240s. So like, even though reading is not a competition, and I have never looked at it as a competition, I also don't want to be like, oh, if I had just read another couple books, I would have hit my thing. No. The reason that I read is for fun only. I do think the reading challenge is fun. Otherwise, I wouldn't keep doing it. Like every year I set my goal and I think it's so much fun. And every year at the end of the year, I post a picture to Instagram showing people how many books I read because I'm proud of it. Like this is my only hobby, guys. So yes and no. I do feel like I am going to push it up to 200, but I don't feel pressured to hit 200 because you never know what's gonna happen. I never know what's gonna happen. Am I going to not feel like reading? I don't think so, because this is sincerely my only hobby, but I just like the unknown is what stops me from being like, yeah, I can totally hit 300 books next year, which would be crazy. So I always put it down. So next year my 2023 Goodreads goal will go up to 200, but I feel like that is all that I am willing to go to because you just never know what's gonna happen. So those are the questions. I really like this tag because it starts putting your mind in perspective of the end of the year. And you're like, okay, so that was my favorite book. Yeah, I have to read this book. Oh, these goals weren't met yet. And I know I talked about this a little bit before, but like, goals aren't everything for me. I don't really care how many books I read as long as I'm enjoying reading. So like, I like this tag, but also it's not about the goals for me. So that's the end of that. Thanks for watching my video. See you in my next one. Bye.